I was just reading today the poll numbers after the debacle in Helsinki. Everybody dramatically disapproved of it. Of course, Democrats about 80% disapproved of it. Independents about 65% disapproved of it. Republicans about 51% of them disapproved of 51%. Overall, his approval rating among Republicans is about 75% overall. So no matter what he does, no matter what happens, I don't care if it's putting immigrants in cages. I don't care if it's being Putin's bitch. I don't care if it's siding with white supremacists. There are a set of people who do not see wrong in what he does, and that's why he continues to do it. He has no one to be held account. And those people, you can tell me whatever you want, are driven by one thing. It ain't tax cuts. It ain't the Supreme Court. It's hate. It really is. They hate that a black man was in that position, and they want to feel good about themselves. They don't care what you do. They don't care if you let Puerto Ricans drown. They don't care if you denigrate law enforcement. They don't care what you put immigrants in cages. They don't care what you do. They're going to stay with him in very high percentages. Matter of fact, until this thing happened, the only person in modern history who had a higher approval rating was George Bush's father, Herbert Walker Bush, and he had a war to fall back on. He was absolutely right when he said that his core constituents, his core people, would stick with him if he shot somebody. And he was absolutely right. His approval rating among them is rock solid. So that's why he has no governors. He can do whatever he wants, at least to those people. I think it's time that we can't keep affording this. This guy is totally inept, totally out of his depth. There was recently conversation that he seriously is considering giving up one of our ambassadors so Putin could talk to him. What do you think is going to happen if Putin talks to him? The only truth is they hated that man, Barack Obama, more than they ever loved America. Patriotism, you might as well switch it with racism, because that's all that's going on here. You would give one of your spies up, somebody that was an ambassador, to talk to Putin. Putin invited Mueller over there to talk to him so they could question the people together. What do you think's going to happen? This can't even be serious. Sarah Huckabee actually looked like she actually might be running out of lies. Maybe it's because she's not getting the food because they keep kicking her out of restaurants. He was absolutely right when he said that he could kill somebody and not lose support. He was absolutely right. I remember a year ago I talked about the example of Solomon and the baby and splitting the baby in half. There are people who would rather have this country fall apart than to share it, and those people are in charge right now. That's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in a minute. Right now, here's Kenny Landeboy of the D.L. Hughley Show.